One of the defining factors when playing 99 Nights in the Forest that makes it so popular is that there's a lot of different ways to play. And each one of them gives similar results. It all depends on what you like to do. Like for example, me, I like to stay at the camp and farm with farm plots until I get the biofuel processor, and then I can use all the carrots and stuff I collect to make a big fire. But then there's people who like going out and exploring to find their items that will make them overpowered. And to be fair, I think if you're in a solo run, then I think you should probably do the one where you go and explore. There's just a note. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. The real point of this video is about the kits and what they do.
But 2KB, they're called classes, not kits.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so basically how this is gonna work is I'm gonna go over all the playstyles and what kit fits them best. So yeah, pretty simple, that's it. So to start off is the support. You can only play this style when you're playing with friends, and that's because you're basically made to make their playstyles function better. And what I mean by this is, for example, I use the farmer class, and if someone uses the cook kit, or whatever you call it, then they can season my food and make it give more hunger. And this category has the least amount of classes that are similar to it, so that's why I'm covering it first, because it's going to be the easiest to decide. There are only 4 types of support kits in the game. These are Scavenger, Medic, Cook, and Blacksmith. Now obviously it's not Scavenger, and Medic doesn't really fill the role either because it runs out of everything useful like 2 days into the game. So we're down to Blacksmith and Cook. And honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Cook. And once again, you may be asking, but Blacksmith is so much better than Cook, why are you placing Cook above Blacksmith? And I'm basing these on 1, how good they are at doing their job, so basically if they're just a good kid or not. 2 is their versatility, so if they run out of all their resources 2 days in the game, then that's gonna peg them down a notch, and that's why Medic wasn't the top. And the last category I'm basing them in is ease of obtainment. And Blacksmith is really good at doing his job, it's really good kit early game, but the thing is, basically all it does is give a few discounts. And I know you can craft a level ahead of your crafting bench level, but the thing is, you need to level up your crafting bench because most of the time when you level it up, by that time you're gonna have enough resources to craft those recipes. Okay, let me give an example. Even if you have it unlocked, you're not gonna be able to craft an oil drill when you still have a level 3 bench. You need to get better before you can buy better items. So for that reason, I think Cook is the best. And the next playstyle is stay at home / grinder. And for this category, we have a lot more choices, so it's going to be a lot harder to pick one. Okay, as I'm recording this, I realized Blacksmith probably should have been in this category and not support, because he's more of a stay-at-home class. But he's just going to stay in there because, yeah. What surprises me is there's actually only 3 stay-at-home kits. And these are Farmer, Lumberjack, and Decorator. And boy, this is hard to pick, but we can start off by saying it's not Decorator. Decorator's mid, bro. And no offense to anyone who uses Decorator, but it has no in-game use. But then here's the hard part. I use Farmer, so I'm kind of biased, but I'm not gonna let my bias get in the way of this ranking. Lumberjack versus Farmer though is a really hard to pick one. But if I'm being honest, I'm kind of leaning more toward Farmer, because with Farmer you can turn your crops into food and fuel using the biofuel processor, but with Lumberjack you can only turn it into fuel. And also I think Farmer is more interesting than Lumberjack, because Lumberjack doesn't give any really new mechanics besides just buffing your wood supply. Meanwhile, Farmer can basically just materialize any food in the game. And now you may be saying, Tuki, if that was so hard for you to decide, then how come you just gave so many reasons that Farmer is better than Lumberjack? Well, here's my problem. Early game. And for early game, Farmer has, I don't know, there's a very small chance for one of the seeds you plant for a tree to have 3 apples that never grow back. But then Lumberjack gets really high wood drops, a better melee weapon off rip, and also just other good things that are amazing for early game. For example, KMD has Lumberjack, and he kind of raided the first kid camp and cleared it on his own and brought the kid back on the first or second day, I forget. And with a non-fighting class, that's pretty good. I guess the good axes is built different, I don't know. So, it was really hard to pick, But I think I'm gonna put Lumberjack just barely above Farmer just because of that early game buff. And now for the final category, Fighter/Explorer. Okay, unlike earlier when I said support had like barely any classes and like stay at home at a bunch, this is actually has the most classes in the game. Like for example, you got a camper, trapper, alien, cyborg, assassin, just to list a few. But since there's so many, we can weed off like a billion of them immediately. Like, it's not trapper or ranger. That I don't think anyone would say that it is. And also I think we can weed out alien, although he's a lot closer to being really good than the other guys. So now we're just stuck with assassin, cyborg, and brawler. And the first one out of the top 3 that I'm gonna eliminate is brawler. Brawler is like the definition of an early game class. Like, he's busted for clearing out the first 2 kids, but then after that he falls off. And now, the final 2. They're both insanely overpowered and insanely overpriced. Like seriously, 600 gems for Cyborg is absolutely diabolical. And also, he's just so rare to come in stock. Like, at least with Assassin, I've seen him 2 times in all my life in stock, at least after the update. And while they both tank in the ease of obtainment department, they both have insane capabilities and versatility. Assassin falls off late game, but it's not as hard of a fall off as Brawler. And while some may argue that having a lower total HP is worse than not having the ability to use a ranged weapon, I think not having range is worse, even if you do have buffs to your melee. Brawler's only late game effect is being able to block 5% of hits he takes. But then, buffs that Assassin get that go into the late game are improved movement speed when you're sprinting, more chance for kunais to spawn in chests, and also the chance to critically strike an enemy. But then, sitting there above all is Cyborg. Cyborg casually spawns in with the best armor in the game and a gun with infinite ammo and pretty good damage. Oh yeah, also just because he wasn't overpowered enough, he also has a boost when his alien tech is at full charge, and that is a healing boost. And the only sort of debuff he has is he gets a bit of shield boost when he loses all his alien tech energy, but just don't let it overheat then. So with all that, even though Assassin put up a good fight, I think the best class in Fighter is Cyborg. So yeah, I might do like a final bracket sometime if this video does well. But even if it doesn't, I still might. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. So peace out, gang.